Hey guys, my name is Mike and welcome back to my channel, Mike's World. Today we're going to be doing a different kind of build video. As you might have saw, the last video that I made was the build that I play at Striker, which is this one right here. And today I'm going to be doing a build video on a very neglected position on YouTube. It's a very important position when it comes to every team, especially for a pro team here on FIFA Pro Clubs. As you know, a CDM is a very important player in a team. He's a player that protects the defenders and also protects the entire black line, as well as pretty much moves the ball forward and is the start point for every counter attack and every play, pretty much. So I'm doing here two different builds. These builds were given to me by two different CTMs that I know. Uh, shout out to them. One of them is a top 100 player, and one of them is also a very good CDM that I know. He plays for many different EFL teams and VFL teams and all those kind of three-letter leagues. And pretty much the type of player that he is he plays with a very short CDM here, as you see, at 5'8", sitting at 149 weight, right foot. And it's very different than the types of CDMs that you see. You'll either see CDMs that are very tall and fast, or CDMs that are very tall and slow. It's very rare that you see a CDM like this that's sitting at 5'8" at 149. It's pretty much all dependent on pace. As you see, he has 79 pace. So let's start off with him. So he starts off with the physical. He doesn't go for the jumping and stamina or physical specialty because he already has 93 jumping and 85 stamina. He doesn't really care for the strength at this point. He only gets the strength here so he can get the stamina and the strength and stamina and the stamina here. So he's sitting at 85 stamina. That's why he doesn't really go for the second wind. Which you'll see it's very different than the other build I'm going to show you guys at the middle of this video. I'll put in the description below the time stamps for this build and for the tall CDM build, so you guys don't have to watch the entire video and strip through. Let's carry on. For the defending, he maxes out all the stats here. For the stand tackle, slide tackle, and for both. For the dribbling, it really depends on what kind of player you are. Some people will play at a CDM build with 3-star, 4-star, 5-star even. But this player here, he plays as 2-star, and that's because he doesn't like really to hold the ball too much. He likes to win the ball back, give it away. Win the ball back, give it away. Win the ball back, give it away. Or get the ball, give it away. Get the ball, get it away. He doesn't really like to take on defenders or take on players and show off his skills. It's not needed for a CDM, so he plays a 2-star skill move. He plays also with the flare, very important for a CDM because you're gonna have to be able to do first touch passes and stuff like that. So it's very important for a CDM, especially under pressure. He'll go for ball control, which is the most pivotal dribbling stat for a CDM, ball control, because they're gonna be able to hold the ball and protect the ball and control the ball, pretty much. And of course he goes for the balance here and the ball control specialty. One thing to mention here in the physical is that he doesn't go for these ones here as well because the most important thing for a CDM is the reaction stats. And if you go for this one, it takes it down by 2. He's sitting right now at 91 reactions, which is very good, considering that he's very weak in this build, 74 strength. So that's the reason why. So let's move on to the passing. He gets the short pass and the long pass here with the passing specialty, and he'll get the crossing and curve. Nothing for shooting, as well as just as much as he can put here for the pace, because that's the whole point of this build. Playing short is that you want to be a little bit quicker, because when you're tall, it's very difficult to have a lot of pace on your player. So that's the reason why he has a lot of things on his pace here. He wants to play like an N'Golo Kante, where he's very quick and can cut back when needed and chase down players to win the ball back. So this build is very good for a player that likes to hold the ball and go forward, and can also depend on his pace to run back when needed. So that's the build here for the 5'8". So now for the build that depends more on the strength and the height and the weight. This build right here is sitting at right now 6'2", at 178 pounds, and right now it's sitting at 88 physical, and it has 4 less pace than the other build. The other build right now has 79 pace, but it has 81 physical, and this one has 88 physical. And it pretty much depends on what kind of player you are. It does not cross my mind enough to tell you guys that these videos depend on what kind of player you are. If you like to play with the striker build that I made at 5'6", go ahead. You could just change the height here, and it would put him at what would it put him at? 5'6". It would put him at 94 pace. That's crazy. Maybe I'll do that for myself. But it all depends on what kind of player you are. The tall and strong build is a player that likes to take hold of that middle position. He'll go and help his LCM or RCM or cam here and there, but the middle position is his home. He'll stay there the entire game and be there at the right place in the right time for counters, for getting control of that entire midfield, being in between the center backs. This build right here is prominent for players that like to stick to the midfield and stick to the middle and barely go up. So this build right here. This build right here is sitting right now a 91 stamina and 87 strength. That's why his physical is so high. Regardless of the 91 stamina, this player right here, who's a top 100 player by the way, goes for the second wind over here. That means that he'll be full of energy the entire game. You can always just take these off and go for the 85 strength, but the strength is just way too high to give it up. I'll probably just not go for the second wind if you guys want to change it up. But the second one is what he goes for. He doesn't go for the jumping here because he's already at switch 2, I think. What's the switch 2? Yeah, he's already at switch 2. And he doesn't really need to go for the jumping because he's already tall and he has 87 jumping, right? So for the defending, he doesn't go for the slide tackling over here because the reason why is that he's not a player that likes to go head first into the defender. He's a player that will boss the ball off the player by using his strength and also standing tackles. It's already at 91, right? And the slide tackles isn't too bad. He doesn't really need the other two. It's already at 88 and it'll put him at 91 with the stand tackle. So for the dribbling, it all depends on what kind of player you are. As you saw in the other build, he doesn't really go for this side over here. Mostly for this side over here, and he doesn't really go for the flare. The flare because he doesn't really go for the flare because he's always in the right place at the right time, and most likely he's going to be open in the middle to hold an X pass or a triangle pass or even a square pass. He's going to be there in the middle to hold the ball. He's not going to really be under pressure now and then, and also he'll always have the defenders to get the ball back to if he is pressured. So he doesn't really need the fancy first touch or the back heels for a CDM. For the passing over here, he goes for the 1-in-1 because his passing is already at 84. He doesn't really need to go and max out his passing stats because he's sitting at CDM. He's not a cam or an RCM or LCM or a winger. So 85 will suffice. And for the shooting, doesn't really go for anything like that. And for the pace, he maxes it out because he needs to. Sitting at 6'2" and this weight pretty much takes off your pace completely. If you take off everything, he sits at 64 pace as a CDM. So when you put it up all the way here, it puts you at 73, which is not bad. It's really not bad for a CDM. It's mostly like a Casemiro, for example. That's what this build really reminds me of. It reminds me of a Casemiro. So that's all for this video. I thank you guys so much for the support, and make sure you smash that like button down below. If you guys want to see more videos like this, be sure to comment down below what positions you'd like to see, and I'll ask some really good players that I know. I know players in all kinds of positions, so if you guys ever curious about different builds that aren't available on YouTube or not really done well on YouTube, make sure to comment that down below, and I'll for sure make a video about it. So this is the CDM build. As you see, there's one that's tall and strong, one that's short and quick. So it all depends on what kind of player you want to be, as mentioned before. So thank you all for the support on this channel. I know a couple of days ago I uploaded the striker video, which is this one right here, and I've been loving the support I've been getting on it. So if you guys want to see more videos like this, once again, please comment down below what positions you want to see, and be sure to pop in on Sundays. We stream every Sunday the league games that we play between 10 p.m. and 12 a.m. So be sure to subscribe and put your notification bells on so you'll be aware when the streams are live. And once again, thank you all for the support, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Don't grow changing. Take care.